What I really love about this phenom by the name of Shohei Ohtani is he's now led folks to come to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum wanting to learn about the great two-way stars of the Negro Leagues.
Look, it's 6 o'clock, I'm hopping out of the bed. Rain falling, calling X, but my phone line's there.
Perhaps the greatest two-way player of them all was the legendary Wilber Bullet Rogan.
Don't nobody wanna dance slow in the rain.
Who was a star for the great Kansas City Monarchs in the Negro Leagues. Now, Bullet Rogan, at first glance, didn't look like a great athlete. Shohei Ohtani is an imposing figure. He is a big young man. But Bullet Rogan was on the opposite end of the spectrum. Stood about 5'7", weighed about 180 pounds. Satchel Paige would call him chunky. But Bullet Rogan was a tremendous athlete. When Bullet Rogan wasn't pitching, he played the outfield and hit cleanup for the Kansas City Monarchs. Bullet Rogan could rake. Leroy Satchel Paige, who said that Bullet Rogan was the onlyest baseball player that he ever saw, that he ever heard of, that pitched and hit cleanup in the batting order. That was Bullet Rogan.
Now it's the second baseman, number 46. That one outside. And we are underway. In there for a strike at the top of the zone.
The term two-way player really doesn't capture how spectacular Bullet Rogan was. Bob Feller said he could do anything. He was one of the best black ball players I ever saw. And Feller barnstormed with just about every Negro League star.
In the air, left field, down the line. Hauls it in after a long run. That's out number 2. 2 down, bases empty. Now the left fielder. Ball one, no strikes. Just about the only thing Bullet wasn't the best at was managing. Chet Brewer once said he wasn't a good manager because he was such a great player himself. He thought it should be easy for you. He didn't know how great he was. Got him swinging. Bullet Rogan, his second K of the game. And we're back. Now it's the shortstop, number 0. Rogan back to work.
First team Bullet played on was the 25th Infantry Wreckers in the U.S. Army, and there are actually box scores for a lot of his games for that team. Over 4 years, he went 36-3 on the mound while batting over .350.
The shortstop takes a ball. Battling here as he fouls it away.
Full count.
Swings and misses, struck him out. And now the first baseman. Check swing, called strike.
Strike 2. 0-2.
Strike 3, and that's 2 in a row. 2 outs, base is empty. And now the right fielder.
Strike 1.
Check swing, tried to hold up. Now an appeal to third. Didn't go. 2 down, nobody on. And a big swing and a miss.
1 and 2 is the count.
Hit on the ground to the right side. And that one handled. Tosses to first. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Here's Bullet Rogan for the first time in this one, and a chance to do some damage.
What a talent Bullet Rogan was. Not only was he an ace on the mound, but in 17 years of Negro League play, he batted .335 and slugged over .500. And unlike Babe Ruth, he pitched almost the whole time with a career ERA of just 2.68.
Slings it across, and that is the inning. If you're going to bring up Bullet Rogan's career stats, Singy, we've got to highlight what he did against white major leaguers. Only 3 recorded games, but he went 4 for 11 at the plate, and he gave up just 4 runs in 2 complete games on the mound. Makes the catch, and there's 1 down.
Well, these guys putting together some really good at-bats in this game. There's been a lot to like with how they're approaching their chances at the plate. It looked to me like they really wanted to get to the starter early, get him out of the game before he settles in. So I'd say mission accomplished.
Fly ball center field. Hauls it in for the out. And that is out of play. And there's a foul ball. Got him. And that's the first out. So 2 away with nobody on. Bullet Rogan digging in now. That one ripped. And a base hit. And next will be the cleanup hitter, Bullet Rogan.
Ball.
1 out. Runners at first and second. Fought off foul. Two on, 1 out.
2-1.
Tap foul at the plate. And a pitch. Backed off the plate that time. In the air, right field. And that's a foul ball. Swing and a ground ball. And that's a fair ball. Runner around third. Fires to the plate, but it's offline. He will score. And that makes it a two-hit ball game for Rogan.
Bullet Rogan was one of the winningest pitchers in Negro Leagues history. He now holds the distinction of having the fourth highest winning percentage in Major League Baseball history. And of course, he earned his nickname Bullet because he got that thing up to the plate in a hurry. What's even more remarkable is he threw from a no wind-up delivery, and yet his nickname was Bullet. He had the heavy fastball. He had a great curveball, a palm ball. I guess you could say he threw everything at hitters, including the kitchen sink. And while his control was not as impeccable as, let's say, a Satchel Paige, Bullet Rogan had the uncanny ability to work himself into jams, but the great stuff and the supreme confidence to get himself out of jams.
Bottom of the ninth, one-run game, 2 on. And the batter will be the shortstop. Rogan back to work. Rolled softly, but that goes foul. Swing and a miss. 0-2 now.
0-2.
Got him. Rogan with the heater for the K. And now the center fielder.
Yeehaw!
Big spot. Tying and winning runs aboard with 1 down. A little bit low. And it's a ball and a strike. Swings through that one for strike 2.
1-2.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Now only 1 out remaining. Now the third baseman. Swing and a miss. And that's strike 1.
No ball. 1 strike.
Strike 2, and there's a real chance they get out of this without allowing a run. 1 strike away. And that one misses up and in. And it's 1-2. Got him, and that's the ball game.
In the inaugural Negro League World Series held in 1924, Bullet Rogan won 2 of those games and was one of the hitting stars in that series, helping the Monarchs capture Kansas City's first ever professional sports team championship in 1924. Frank Duncan, who had been a great catcher and would eventually manage the great Kansas City Monarchs, when asked about who he would choose between Satchel Paige and Bullet Rogan, Duncan's response was Rogan, because he knew that Satchel had all the stuff to get you out, but Bullet Rogan's versatility perhaps made him even more valuable than the legendary Leroy Satchel Paige.
Bullet Rogan up now with a chance to break it open early for Kansas City. Slashed foul down the right side. That'll hook off into the seats. Between 1924 and 1925, Bullet Rogan was as good as you can imagine a player possibly being. He won 36 games against just 8 losses, batted .380, tossed 41 complete games out of 50 starts.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Got him swinging. Turned on, but foul wide of third. And that one fouled off.
When Bullet got inducted into the Hall of Fame, his son said he didn't know if his dad had thrown as hard as Satchel Paige, but when Satch was on the mound, he needed a designated hitter. When my dad was on the mound, he was in the cleanup spot.
Swing and a miss. The velocity blasted it right past him. And he swings through that one. One person could tell you how hard Rogan threw. Monarchs catcher Frank Duncan. He'd buy 2 steaks before catching Rogan and slip one into his catcher's mitt for protection. After 5 innings, the first steak would be shredded, and he'd switch to another one. And the first offering is not close. Out to short. Throws to first. And that's one away as the leadoff man is out in the. Bullet Rogan digging in now. And that one fouled off. Two on, 1 out.
Ball. I got 1 ball, 1 strike. Ball, that's out. Hey! 2-2 count.
This one belted deep left field, on its way, gone. Swings through that one, out in front that time.
0-1.
And there's a rocket into the outfield. And a good start to the inning.
To give you an indication of Bullet Rogan's supreme confidence, playing down in Cuba, and his catcher was Hall of Famer Raleigh Biz Mackey. And they're facing a team that featured the great Alejandro Ohms, a notorious curveball hitter. And so Mackey is laying down the signs for Rogan, and Rogan's shaking him off because Rogan wants to throw his curveball. And Mackey's like, no, don't throw him a curveball. And Rogan's like, I got this. He can't hit my curveball. And what does he do? He drops 3 hooks and struck Ohms out. Bullet Rogan was a transcending kind of player.
Here's the left fielder. Two outs.
0-2.
This could end it. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss, and that's the ball game. Monarchs looking to add on to their lead as Bullet Rogan digs in with one out and a runner at third. Gloves it on the dive. Gathers and throws. Run scores, but a terrific play to get the out.
Not a lot of players can claim the championship success that Bullet Rogan had. Not only did he win a Negro League World Series with Kansas City, but he won a title for Almendares in the Cuban Winter League and multiple championships in the California Winter League.
You mentioned Bullet's success in the California Winter League, Singy. He went 42-14 in his career there and had a record 52 complete games, including one win where he shut down Hall of Famers Jimmy Fox and Al Simmons. And first offering is fouled off.
Going back to Bullet's time with Kansas City, don't forget that his first season, they had one of the all-time great starting trios in their rotation with Rogan, Jose Mendez, and John Donaldson. That's an incredible group right there.
That one missed. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. He's notched 4 strikeouts now. Bullet Rogan digging in now. Runner on at third, one gone. Missed inside with the curve. This one chopped on the ground, but foul. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. 2 down. Swing and a ground ball out to short. Throws to first in time. Leadoff hitter retired in the 4th. Outside. Ball 1. Here comes a pitch. Ripped on the ground to second. Tosses to first. And Rogan is set down for the out. Towards first. And foul ball. Hit hard, base hit. And now 2 aboard. To third, tag, got it. To second, but way too late, safe there. One down, runner at third. Bullet Rogan, the next to hit. Turned on, but that's foul down the third baseline. Swing and a miss, and that's strike two.
0-2.
The next offering misses, and that's ball one. And there's a ball.
2-2.
Foul ball, another 2-2 upcoming. Out there to center, coming on. Long run, tracks it down. Runner tags for home. The tag gets him, and it's a double play to end the inning. First pitch, not close. Swings through that one.
1-1.
Foul ball there. Line drive, caught. Here's a high chopper. In plenty of time to first, and Rogan is set down for the out. One down. Now it's the right fielder, Bullet Rogan. That one out to right. In position. 2 away now. Monarchs looking to add on to their lead as Bullet Rogan digs in with 1 out and a runner at third. Out to center. Sizing this one up. He's got it, and that should get the job done as he tags from third. He's in to score on the sac fly, and they lead by 2.
Low ball.
On the ground to the left, and that chance handled. Tosses across to first, and Rogan is set down for the out. On the ground, and that one handled. They get the force. They limit the damage here. He swings and hits a fly ball, center field. And it falls. Smith around third. The relay throw. Safe. He beats the tag. It's 5-1.
Wilber Rogan would join the Kansas City Monarchs after playing for one of the greatest military baseball teams of all time, the legendary 25th Infantry Wreckers. The thing that I find so fascinating is that these African-American ball players who served valiantly, they were fighting for a country that essentially wasn't fighting for them. And yet if you were to ask them why they wanted to fight, and why they wanted to serve, well, the answer will be simple. Because we were American. And there's no greater way to prove how American you are than service to your country. Bullet Rogan was nearly 31 years old when he joined the Negro Leagues. By baseball standards, he's old. And yet Rogan was still tremendously impactful. He would become one of the first superstars of the newly formed Negro National League. In Kansas City, Bullet Rogan lay at rest in a cemetery in what I guess you could describe as a rather nondescript grave site. And a few years ago, we were able to work with the cemetery, who did not allow upright headstones, to install a monument that was befitting a player the magnitude of Wilber Bullet Rogan, who in 1998 finally crossed over that threshold into baseball's immortality when he was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
Bullet Rogan to the plate now, and he's looking to knock in the runners from second and third.
It really is a pity that Bullet Rogan didn't get to play in organized professional baseball until his late 20s. Given how dominant he was right away, he could have had many more incredible seasons in the Negro National League.
Base hit, one run is in. The throw to second. The tag, and they cut him down going for two. You talked about the late start of Bullet's career, Singy, but he made up for it at the end. He played all the way until the 1938 season when he was deep into his 40s. First pitch misses.
Ball two.
And a curve is down and in. Hard hit, right side. Over to first. And that is the third out of the inning. The pitch. Swing and a line drive. That's a base hit into center field. Man aboard on the leadoff single. Swing and a high fly ball out towards right field. Nabs it, and that'll do it. So bases all loaded up. Bullet Rogan digging in now. Swing and a miss. 0-1.
0-1.
And a foul ball. All loaded up. Dangerous hitter at the plate. And a swing and a miss. Now 2 out. Two on, 1 out. Now it's going to be Bullet Rogan. In the dirt. Wow, that's a great job behind the dish there.
Aye.
Line drive, that's a base hit. One runs in. Here comes the throw. The tag, and he's out.
You know, this group of hitters showing great discipline at the plate, and patience definitely seems to be the name of their game in this one. They've worked 3 walks already, so that proves they're not anxious up there. They're sticking to their game plan, and it's working.
0-2 now. Fouled off the plate. They'll do it again. On the ground to third. Sends it across to first. 1 up, 1 down. Swinging a foul out of play.
Hey. 0-2 is the count.
Stays alive.
Ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count.
Fights that one away. Still 1-2. Smith over at first with 1 away. Got him. And 2 away now. Welcome back to Rickwood Field. And now the right fielder, Bullet Rogan. And first offering is fouled off.
Ball 1. 1-1.
And a swing and a miss there.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And that one is lifted in the air on his way over and makes the grab. And there's 1 away. Go ahead run on base. Rogan now at the plate. Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. Runner around third on his way to the plate. The throw's offline. He's saved. It's 4-3. So 2 in scoring position with 1 out. Bullet Rogan digging in now. Bounding ball here, rolls foul.
Ball. 1-1. Hey! 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Foul ball, still a 1-2 count. Out to short. Zips it across. Now 2 away as they get a run across.
Yep, that ball went out. I got 1 ball, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike.
Kicks and fires. That one is absolutely belted. Bangs off the wall. Around first, heading for 2. The throw in, not in time. That's a leadoff double. That one hit to right. He's under it. Makes the grab. And there are 2 outs. First and second, 1 out. And next will be the cleanup hitter, Bullet Rogan. Fastball almost got him there. Hit pretty well in the air out to center. He's under it. Squeezes it. 2 away. Now, Bullet Rogan. Hard grounder into the outfield for a knock. Heading for the plate. He'll score, and it's an RBI single, and it's a 1-run game. Bullet Rogan to the plate now, and he's looking to knock in the runners from second and third. Fouled off down the right side. Two on, 1 out. Swing and a drive, and no doubt about it, Bullet Rogan blasts that one out of here.